Hello students. Students, in the last video, I just explained you the first chapter of the snapshot, that is the summer of beautiful white horse. Right, so we have completed 2 pages of this chapter, and today I will going to start from where I have finished. But before I start the chapter, I would like to give a quick review, recap of the chapter. So as you have read first 2 pages, so you must be knowing that the story is actually of two Armenian boys, that is who is Murad and Aram, and these boys belong to Garogarian family, as their hallmark of their tribe was trust and honesty, right? So Aram is actually the narrator, and his age was 9, and his cousin Murad, he was like 13 years old, and he was a bit slightly crazy fellow, right students? So in the starting what happened, like Murad came to his house, and at 4 in the morning, and at that time he just woke Aram by tapping on the window of his room. And all of a sudden, when Aram saw that Murad is standing outside the room, he jumped out of the bed and looked out of the window. And what he saw that his cousin Murad was sitting on a very beautiful white horse, right? And at that time, when he saw that his cousin Murad was sitting on a very beautiful white horse, so he asked that from where you bought this horse, right? So Murad didn't said anything at that time. Murad only said that if you want to ride, just be quick and we will go for a ride. As students in this story, you got to know that both belongs to Garogarian family, and Garogarian family was very poor, and it's known for trust and honesty, right? So Aram thought that Murad couldn't have bought the horse, like he must have stolen it, right? But at that time, what the narrator Aram actually refused that he can stolen the horse, because he belongs to, Murad belongs to Garogarian family, and no member of Garogarian family can be a thief. So all of a sudden what happened, Murad didn't say anything, and he didn't reply at that time, and he just said that if you want to go for a ride, be quick and we will go for a ride, right? So at that time what happened, like he all of a sudden he jumped out of the window, and he leaped onto the horse behind his cousin Murad. So students, we have completed up till here, and I have given you the quick summary of the both the pages, part 1 and part 2, and from here we will going to start. No members of the Garogarian family could be a thief. So here Aram is thinking that obviously we people belong to Garogarian family, and we could never be a thief, because their hallmark was trust and honesty. I stared first at my cousin and then at the horse. So here Aram, the narrator, Aram is actually the narrator in the story, and he's saying that first I just stared at my cousin who cousin Murad, and then at the horse. Firstly, I am looking to my cousin, and then I am staring at the horse. There was a pious stillness and humor. Pious means having or showing a deep belief in any religion, right? Stillness and humor in each of them, which on the one hand delighted me. Means when he saw this pious stillness and humor in Murad, so on the one hand he became very happy. Hand delighted. Delighted means he became very happy, right? And on the other hand frightened me, and on the other hand also he was very frightened that he was like having an dilemma that might be Murad can steal the horse. So on first hand he became very happy just because he was seeing the white horse, and it was actually his dream to ride a white horse, right, by which he was very happy. And on the other hand he became very frightened. Murad, I said, where did you steal this horse? And Aram is asking from Murad that from where you steal this horse. And when Murad, when he hear this thing, he didn't reply anything. He just said, leap out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. And he didn't bother to give the answer of this question. And he said that if you want to go for a ride with me, just come out fast. It was true then, he had stolen the horse, and by this behavior of Murad, he can recognize, and he's having like some belief that by this behavior of Murad, I guess that he had stolen the horse. This was no question about it, and now he's pretty much sure that I guess that Murad have stolen the horse. He had come to invite me to ride or not, as I choose. And he's thinking, Aram is thinking that he just came to invite me, that if I'm interested for riding or if I'm not interested for riding. It means it's my wish, right, if I choose. But what happened? Murad will definitely go for riding. Well, it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. So this line is very powerful line, as you can say here, as you can see here. I mean, Aram is saying that it seemed to me that stealing a horse for a ride means if we people want to ride, and if we have stolen the horse for this purpose, right, it will not be stealing as the same thing such as money. Means if we are actually selling the horse, if we have stolen the horse and if we are selling, then I can say that it is actually what we are doing, we stole the horse. But just for a ride, I don't think that it is called stealing. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all. Here as you can see that Aram is saying that for this purpose, means for riding a horse, I don't think that it is actually a stealing. If you were crazy about horses the way my cousin Murad and I were, it wasn't stealing. And here, I mean, he's saying and he's believing this thing that if you are, if you are having this dream to ride a horse, or if you are crazy about riding, right, the way my cousin Murad was, like the way my cousin Murad and I was actually, then I will not going to say that it was stealing, because it was just for our entertainment purpose, right. It wouldn't become stealing until we offer to sell the horse. Until and unless if we are not selling the horse, I mean, if we are not stealing and if we are not selling to the other person, I will not going to say that it is actually the stealing the horse, right. Which of course I knew we would never do. And Aram is very confident that we belong to Garogarian family, and this is sure that we will never and ever think of steal the horse and selling the horse to the other person. Let me put on some clothes, I said. And from inside his room, Aram said that let me change my clothes. All right, he said, but in hurry. And then Murad said that all right, just be hurry. I leaped into my clothes. He just put on his clothes into my clothes. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Murad. And here Aram is saying leaped means jumped. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped onto the horse. And he just leaped means he just jumped onto the horse behind my cousin Murad, and he just sit behind his cousin Murad. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped onto the horse behind my cousin Murad. So at that time, Aram, he just jumped down to the yard. Yard is the open area inside the house, and he leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Murad, and they just went for riding. So here in the next paragraph, now it's given that that year we lived at the edge of the town on Walnut Avenue. So Aram is saying that year we were actually living at the edge of the town. Edge means corner, end, end of the town of Walnut Avenue. This is a place, Walnut Avenue. And now here he is giving the description. Um, like in front of his house. So here in the next he is giving the description. Behind our house was the country vineyard. Vineyard means garden of grapes. Orchards, orchard is small garden. Irrigation ditches, irrigation from where the watering of the plants happened, right? So he is saying that behind our house were the country vineyard, orchard, irrigation ditches, and the country road. In less than 3 minutes, we were on Olive Avenue, and then the horse began to trot. So Aram is saying that less than 3 minutes we reached where to Olive Avenue, and at that time the horse began to trot. Trot means actually it's a speed that is faster than a walk. So that actually the horse is doing means he was not running also, he was not walking also, he was on a speed which is faster than a walk. The air was new and lovely to breathe. So Aram is saying that the air was very fresh and it was lovely to breathe. The feel of the horse running was wonderful, and actually I am feeling the best part that I was riding the horse and it was very wonderful, means I was feeling very happy. My cousin Murad, who was considered one of the craziest member of our family, began to sing. I mean, he began to roar, and he was what he was doing. He was riding the horse, and I mean, they were enjoying their moment to the fullest. And here Aram is saying that he is actually the craziest member of our family, and at that time what he was doing means while riding he just started to sing, means he didn't sing, he began to roar, mean it didn't seem like he was singing, he was shouting, he was roaring. Every family has a crazy streak in it somewhere, and my cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant. Crazy streak means mad temperament, sort of, right? So here, like Aram is saying that in every family there is one person who is having this like temperament, and in my family, who was he? Murad was considered the natural descendant who actually inherits these quality from any of the family member of the crazy streak in our tribe. Before him means now, right now, who was that person? Murad was that person who was considered to be crazy, but earlier, who was that person? He was Uncle Khosrow. So before him was our Uncle Khosrow, an enormous man with a powerful head of black hair. And here Aram is giving a description of Uncle Khosrow, that Uncle Khosrow was a enormous. Enormous means huge, big, right? Or you can say heavy, with a powerful head, with a big head of black hair, and his black hair and the largest mustache in the St. Joachim Valley, and he was having the largest mustache in St. Joachim Valley. St. Joachim Valley is the one of the longest interior valleys in California. A man so furious in temper, and now like Aram is giving the description of Uncle Khosrow, that he was so furious, means his anger was in temper, so irritable, and he is very irritable sort of person, so impatient means no patience he is having, that he stopped anyone from talking by roaring, that he just stopped anyone, and it seems like he is not talking, he is roaring or he is shouting. It's no harm, pay no attention to it. And in every statement of Uncle Khosrow, he is in habit of repeating this statement again and again. And what was that statement? It's no harm, pay no attention to it. Means any problem if occur in front of Uncle Khosrow, or if any of the person is telling any of his problem, right, related to him only, then it was his pet dialogue to say it's no harm, pay no attention to it. That was all, no matter what anybody happened to be talking about. Once it was his own, one it was his own son Arak running 8 blocks to the barber shop where his father was having his mustache trimmed to tell him that their house was on fire. And one day, what happened? His son, whose son? Uncle Khosrow, his son Arak, and his son's name was Arak, and he just came running from the 8 blocks, and he just came running like from the 8 blocks to the barber shop where Uncle Khosrow was sitting, and he was having his mustache trimmed. Trimmed means like to cut the hair into the right size, to tell him that their house was on fire. And what happened? He just like he was running, and he just came to the barber shop, and he told his father that his house was on fire. And just imagine, by listening this, he didn't react, and he said this statement, pay no attention to it. It's no harm, pay no attention to it. The man Khosrow sat up in the chair and roared, and he was sitting in the chair, and from there he was roaring. It's no harm means for him it is nothing big, means his house was on fire, and for him when he hear this, it was nothing for him. It is no harm, pay no attention to it, the barber said. But the boys say your house is on fire. And by listening this, the barber was shocked, and he was like saying to Uncle Khosrow that, sir, at least listen what your son is saying. Your son is saying that your house is on fire. So Khosrow roared, enough, it's no harm, I said. And he just keep his he just make his mouth shut by saying that it's no harm. I am saying this because he was in habit of repeating this line again and again. So just mark up till here. So Khosrow wrote, enough, it's no harm, I said. Next we will going to do in the next class.